What is going on, nerds and nerdettes? It's your boy Stevie B with this week's haul video. I'm actually recording this on a Sunday instead of tomorrow, which is Memorial Day, because I'm not going to get any mail tomorrow. So I got a few things that are still in the pipeline that was going to be in this haul video, but I figured we got enough to talk about in this one haul video to make it interesting, and I'll save the other stuff for next haul video. But hope y'all are having a great Memorial Day weekend, staying safe, don't drink and drive, do all that stuff. You might spill some anyway, right? But anyway, let's just get right into the Midtown stuff first and get that out of the way, and then we'll get to the main event. First up, I got the Dawn of DC primer, #1. I got the foil version of this as well, but this is the first appearance of Peace Wrecker. Not sure if it's ever going to amount to anything, but this was free, I believe, so I just had them throw one in. So I'll pick it up. I'll take any free comic books. We'll take it. And next up, we've got Storm #1 with this Art Germ cover, which is gorgeous. And this introduces a new villain, another weather villain called Blowback. So it's a little first appearance. Also, it's kind of like a throwback to, I mean, it doesn't show it on the cover, but back to the old Mohawk days of Storm. But she faces a new villain called Blowback, so we'll check it out. Mainly it was a cover buy because that Art Germ cover is just badass. So had to have it. And next up, not very many from Midtown, honestly. Of course, I've been picking up all the Hallows Eve stuff. Really like this character. I think she might have some staying power, hopefully, because it's a cool character. So, you know, that first appearance, I hope. I mean, I think it's dropped a little bit already, you know, since her first appearance. I think that price has come down, but I think she might have a little bit of longevity, so I'm excited to see where it goes. And, of course, another one part of the Dawn of DC stuff, picked up Green Arrow #2. This is the first appearance of Troublemaker. So it's the first appearance. I picked it up. Green Arrow. It seems like they keep trying to give Green Arrow as, you know, an ongoing, and it really doesn't pan out very well. So hopefully they can make this one, you know, make this one stick around a little bit, make it interesting. So we'll see. And next up, I got was this one is interesting to me. Wanted to give it a try. This is City Boy #1, and this was from Wildstorm a while back. This character, he has the ability to, like, it's hard to explain. He can communicate with the city that he's in, and it helps him. He's a scavenger, basically. So he communicates with the city. The city kind of talks to him, the city whisperer, and, you know, and it helps him locate hidden treasures within the city. And so he kind of scavenges, and and then the city will manifest like little avatars or make little animal avatars that kind of help him on his quest. So he just travels around from, you know, city to city and scavenges. But it sounds interesting, so I thought I'd pick one up. DC hasn't done anything that, you know, really interesting or original in a long time, and this seemed like an original type of story. So I picked one up, and then I thought, you know, this is a cool character, might amount to something. So I went back in their back issue bin and got Wildstorm 30th anniversary special #1, and this is the first appearance of City Boy. So that's cool. It's one of those ones that you it's kind of a spec. I'm thinking this one might pan out a little bit. Like I said, it's unique and and maybe it'll grow some legs and be something. Could be wrong, but it's nice Inuk cover though. I like it. So we'll see. It's a little spec book, but we'll check it out. But that's it for Midtown. Yeah, slim pickings this month. So we'll see, of course, or this week, excuse me. So we'll see what happens there with that. We'll set them aside here. Of course, next week's, the big drop of the Spider-Man or ASM 26, the death of Miss Marvel, So it'll be coming in the next week's haul. So we'll see. It's another one of those spoiler covers. And I've seen the cover. The cover is pretty badass, though. The spoiler cover, it's pretty badass. So excited for that. And then yesterday, Amy and I went to it's called Hillbilly Flea Market. It's just right across the Arkansas-Oklahoma border, and it's open every year during the summer, or late spring, early summer. I think first weekend of April it opens, and then closes. September, late September. But somebody was advertising on Facebook that they had some comic books out there, so I went out there to specifically look for them. They had said we have over 1,000 comic books. So I was like, all right, cool. So we went out there and looked, and I found the booth with the guy that had some comics, and this guy clearly had no idea. He just knew he had a bunch of comic books and thought he was sitting on a gold mine. And the minute I walked up and started looking into him, he saw the Batman hat, and he saw I had my Marvel tank top on, and he said, "I'll sell you all that whole batch of comics for $500." And I was like, "Really?" He said, "Yeah." He says, "There's over 1,000 comics books in there." He says, "Definitely worth $500." So I started flipping through them, and not so much worth $500. But he had some pretty good size 30 book run of some Spider Girl that I thought was interesting, and I asked him how much he wanted for all the Spider Girls. He goes, $1 a piece, and I was like, I'm just not interested in them for. He says, I don't want to sell them as a bundle because I got a guy that texted me and said he was on his way to buy the whole lot, and he was going to buy all of them for $500. So I don't want to break them up if you ain't interested in, if you ain't going to buy them $1 a piece. He goes, I don't want to just bundle them. And I was like, all right, well, good luck with that. And I flipped to him, and honestly, he had of course, there was a bunch of Valiant in there that isn't worth a shit. And he had some of the old Defiant stuff in there, the Ultraverse, bunch of 90s, which I'm a 90s guy, and I love the 90s, but a lot of the 90s stuff back then, even for a 90s, baby like me, started collecting in the 90s, was still a lot of junk, old 90s Image and stuff. Didn't really have anything, remotely interesting, but he had a very, very few X-book titles. Most of it was X-Men 2099 and those Spider Girls, and he had some New Teen Titans comics. He had a stack of those, and I was interested in those, but somebody had taken a black magic marker and had written on barcodes across the barcodes on them in black magic marker, and pretty much kind of devalued the whole lot. But so I wasn't even interested in making him an offer on them. That was all he had. The rest of it was a bunch of 90s indie stuff, and he's trying to sell them all to me for $400, and I was like, it's just not $400 here. So I'd be paying $400 basically for a bunch of dollar bin books that I'd either give away or probably just give away, just take up space. So I walked off. But I picked up one book while I was there, and it's not a major book. It's a $2-3 book, but I didn't have it, and it's a little minor key, but it is X Factor number 31. This is the first cameo appearance of Orphan Maker. So it was in decent shape, no magic marker on the front, so I picked it up. Funny thing is he followed, or after I left, he sent his girlfriend over and said, hey, he said, if you want those Spider-Girl books, he said he would take 20 for all 30 of them. And I was just like, man, it's just not worth, if I couldn't get them for $5 or $10, I know, cheapskate, but it was a cool little run. It would have been fun to put together, but I'm not going to invest a whole lot of money into it. He did not have number 0. He didn't have the first appearance. Just some random, filler issues. So I wasn't that interested, but I thought it was funny that he would send her to chase me down, knowing that he has somebody on their way to come buy the whole lot. So I thought about going back over there and saying, I'll give you $10 for all of them, just to be a dick, but I wasn't even that interested in them for that much. But now, on to the main course. This is why you come to the thumbnail, to see what all the fuss is about. A little backstory. About 2 years ago, I met a guy named Jeshua. He went by Foiled Again Comics on YouTube. He was a subscriber. He'd heard about me roasting, Valiant and how much I hated Valiant and blah, blah, blah. Well, he went in cahoots, and he will deny, whether he denies it or admits to it, he went into cahoots with an old buddy of mine, Comic Foo 2814, and they both decided they were going to prank me. So he sends me a package, and it's a huge, pretty good size. It's a box. It was bigger than this, I believe, bigger than this one. Sends me a box, and I open it up, and first it's full of Foofetti. And we all know Comic Foo's little green Fuminati Foofettis. So that let me know that Foo was in on it. So it's full of Foofetti. About 60 miles worth of bubble wrap. And then when you get to the bubble wrap, through the bubble wrap and all that, it had about 400 zip ties all over it. So it took me forever to get through that. And when I opened it up and got through all the crap, it was a Bloodshot number 1 CGC 9.8. So basically, he had made me go through all that hassle to get a Bloodshot number 1 9.8. It had a custom label on it and everything. In all reality, a 9.8 Bloodshot number 1 with a custom label is probably, worth $25-$30. In all honesty. So I pondered it. How am I going to get back at this goofball for trolling me on my video with that? So I called a friend of mine, Jason, the comic book preacher, which we miss you, bud. Hope you come back. He's working on that new baby. He's still got the new baby tied down. Ezra, he's nice and healthy, good looking kid. But so he's got other things going on. Ain't got time for the YouTube thing right now. And I understand that. But I called him up and said, hey, you want to help me come over and customize this Bloodshot number 1? And he said, sure. So he comes over and he brings his little 45, I believe it was a 45, with him. And you notice it's not on my wall, it's because it's in my hand. I decided that I was just going to put 3 bullet holes right through, and you see I got one right in the suck hole right there. I was aiming for that, so not a bad shot. Took 2 shots. First one was way off, but I dialed it in, not aiming for that ridiculous little red dot on his chest logo. But I did get one right in the suck hole, and one down here, one up here. So I put 3 bullet holes in it and thought that's cool. And it has been on my wall ever since. So in my defense, I feel that I increased the value of this book by 100 times by putting my custom touch on it. So it has been on my wall, but I sent the video to Jeshua, foiled again, and all he did was comment back with "wow," and I never heard from him again. And I thought, oh man, and my thought was he trolled me and wanted a reaction out of me, and I didn't want to disappoint. So I thought I was doing something funny, and then it occurred to me with that one word, wow, and then I never heard from him again. I replied back with, oh, come on, man. I customized it and now I made it more valuable, and he didn't reply back, and I thought, great, I pissed him off. And I thought, for 2 years, I thought, that was my one regret about the Bloodshot number 1, about this book, was that I pissed off, the one that sent it to me. I pissed him off, offended him, or hurt his feelings, or whatever. Was never my intention. Was always my intention to get a laugh out of it. And I knew when I did it that this book was never going to leave my collection, and it hasn't to this day. So for 2 years, I thought, this guy hates my guts and he's pissed off at me. Well, the other day, last week, I was in Whatnot, kind of just, trolling, lurking in there, seeing what was up. And I popped in to a Junior's Comics sale. And the minute I popped in there, the guy goes, holy crap, it's Stevie B. And he says, a YouTube legend. And I was like, huh? I don't know this guy. I don't have a lot of I've got 1,100 subscribers, and not a lot of them interact with me very much, but I recognize each one of them when they pop up. I kind of know who my subscribers are and who knows me and who I've talked to before. I remember them, but didn't know who Junior's Comics was, never even heard of him. And I'm going, okay, legend, laughable, but funny anyway that he knows who I am. And then he starts going in to his story, and he says, I sent this guy a Bloodshot number 1, CGC 9.8, and all this, and I was like, holy crap. So I typed in and I said, Jeshua, is that you? And he goes, yeah, it's me, Stevie. And I told him, I said, dude, I thought you hated my guts. And he told me, he goes, what? He gets on there. I can hear him. He can't hear me. And he goes, why would you think that? And I said, because you never heard from you again and all this. And he said, oh man, life happened. He goes, no, dude. He said, that was the funniest damn video I've ever seen. He said, I was rolling on the floor laughing my ass off when you shot that thing with 3 bullet holes and everything. So as it turns out, for 2 years, he let me marinate in the fact that I thought I did the one thing I didn't want to do, and that was, was to offend or hurt the feelings or piss off one of my subscribers. So he let me marinate on that for 2 years. 2 years, Jess, you let me sit and stew about that. So, but I am glad to know that he took that the right way and thought it was hilarious. He messaged me on Instagram and said, dude, he said, I was never mad at you. He said, I thought that was funny. And I clicked on my video and brought him into my comic room and showed him that, hey, that thing had a place of honor on my wall ever since. And I said, it's like one of the crown jewels of my collection. I love it. And he was happy about that. But anyway, I did buy a couple books from him. So I don't know I only bought like 2 or 3 books. I think I won a giveaway on a wheel spin, and then I bought 2 books. That's an awful big box for 2 books, so God only knows. So I thought I would unbox it for you guys. It's kind of a some closure to that whole Bloodshot #1 incident. Makes me very happy to know that I did not offend him or piss him off, and that he's not mad at me. He doesn't hate my guts. But at the same time, Joshua, you asshole, you made me sit and stress about that for 2 years before letting me off the hook. Well, there's no foo-fetty or nothing in here, just some brown paper bags, no zip ties. No zip ties. I bet that was really loud right in the microphone, wasn't it? No zip ties. So it doesn't look like I got booby trapped, so I guess I didn't really have to unbox it on camera, but I wanted to tell the story. It's a funny story. If you haven't seen the videos, I'll see if I can remember. I'll drop the links to those 2 videos. The one where he sent me the package, and the actual shooting videos. If you want to go check those out, pretty entertaining. One thing about the shooting video that kind of disappointed me is I did it for a laugh, and I wanted to get everybody to response to be, I wanted their response to be, oh my God, that's funny, or even, holy shit, you're an asshole. Why would you destroy a 9/8? Why would you destroy a slab book? And for those of you wondering why I would put 3 bullet holes in a 9/8, custom label, Valiant custom label, Bloodshot #1. Look, guys, I think we can all agree that this is not a rare or valuable book. It is in every dollar bin, in every LCS across the universe. You can pick these up for nothing. And even in a 9/8 slabbed, I mean, you could probably get one for 20 to 30 bucks. So, relax. It's not a rare comic. I didn't take comic books out of somebody else's hand who would, enjoy better. You can go to any LCS on the planet. You can go on eBay and you can get that book for $1 everywhere. So, but anyway, and now it's in my PC. So as long as it's in my PC and I kept it, no harm, no foul is the way I look at it. But anyway, well, let's just see what books I got, because I honestly don't remember. I don't remember what I bought. And oh yeah, okay. This was the giveaway, because it had to have been the giveaway, because I would never have paid money for this. Not that it's a bad book, it's just not a book for me. But it's a #1, so Archie Adventure Series, Eastman and Laird's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles meet Conservation Corps. #1. So, pretty cool. Little dirty. It's seen better days. 90s book. It could benefit definitely from a clean and a press. It's kind of stained up. But it was a free one. It's a freebie. So no harm, no foul. Oh, yeah. Oh, well. Speak of the devil. I did pick up Spider-Girl #1 from him. Not sure. I can't remember how much I paid. It's like $8 or something. I didn't pay much. But I did pick one up. It's not the first appearance, I don't think. Am I right? Isn't it number 0? Isn't there a 0 issue, #0? That's the first appearance, I believe. Let me know in the comments. And then the first team up of Hulk and She-Hulk. And this is Incredible Hulk. Okay, good. Incredible Hulk 282. This is in really good condition. It's got a little bit of a dog ear, I guess, on the corner. Oh, it's got a little tear there. So, yeah. Yeah, actually, getting closer inspection, this is Mid-grade copy, 1983. It's a mid-grade copy, probably. Still pretty cool. I was glad to pick it up. First team up, Hulk, She-Hulk. Not a bad little key. So he never claimed any kind of condition. He just put it up and I just bid on it. Condition unknown. But it's not bad condition. I said mid-grade, but maybe a 7.5. Not bad. But anyway, that's it for the haul. That's all I picked up. Again, I'll try to drop a link to the two videos, the two foiled again videos in the description, so you can just click on them and go to them instead of trying to have to find them. So that's cool. But glad we got an end to the Bloodshot #1 bullet hole saga, and the whole foiled again comics saga got some closure. It's nice to know Jeshua does not hate my guts for doing that, and that he got the intended response that I wanted from him. Was that made him laugh. So I'm happy about that. But anyway, that's the haul. Again, y'all, hope you all had a great Memorial Day weekend. Did some cooking out, did some camping, maybe did some fishing and everything. Hope it was wonderful. Before you guys go, if you wouldn't mind doing all those YouTube things that we love for you to do, like, subscribe, comment, share, and all that good stuff. But that's going to do it for this one. We will see you guys in the next one. Peace.